fishy, row.
Go fishy, go fishy, go.
Go fishy, go fishy, go.
Option two's the way to go.
Option two's the way to go.
When I say option, y'all say two. Option
Two.
Option
Two.
When I say option, y'all say two. Option
Two.
Option Y'all ready?
Yeah.
We got one more because there's an option one. Option one, we say no. Extra lanes, gotta go. Option one,
We say no.
extra lanes,
Gotta go.
option one,
We say no.
extra lanes,
Gotta go.
option one,
We say no.
extra lanes.
Gotta go.
All right, y'all ready, y'all ready.
Yeah, that's better for you.
How's everybody feeling? This is great energy. We gotta keep it up. Good evening to you all, and thank you for joining us. My name is Milka Martel, and I'm the founder and director of Loving the Bronx, and a member of the Stop the Cross Bronx Expansion Coalition. In less than an hour, New York State DOT will hold a public meeting about their plan to expand the Cross Bronx Expressway. This highway already cuts through our community, and now they want to bring more pollution to the Bronx River and to the air that we breathe. As we all know, the Cross Bronx is already one of the most congested roads in the nation, and at the expense of Black and brown people who actually live in this corridor. It literally has been making us sick for decades, clogging our lungs and driving up asthma and heart disease. The 5 bridges that make up the Cross Bronx are in disrepair and need to be fixed. But New York State DOT needs to do that without making our problems even worse. We're here today with one message for State DOT. Listen to the Bronx and stop the Cross Bronx expansion. We are calling on New York State DOT to greenlight option 2 to do the standard repair of bridges and use the remaining funds for safer alternatives that actually reconnect our neighbors, clean our air and water, and cut down on traffic. Now you hear from our wide coalition, a group of Bronx advocates dedicated to transit, environmental, and racial justice, and a safer Cross Bronx for us all. Please welcome Victoria Toro of the Bronx River Alliance.
Thank you so much, Nilka. As Nilka stated, I'm here representing the Bronx River Alliance, and I was born and raised, proudly live and work in the Bronx. The Bronx River Alliance is a 24-year-old organization, but was built on the foundations of grassroots work that has been ongoing since 1974. Our community has fought for decades to make the river a healthy resource for all the communities through which it flows, and we proudly continue the mission and work of the leaders who came before us. The State DOT 5 Bridges project is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to address the harmful climate impacts, environmental impacts, and community health impacts of the Cross Bronx in this neighborhood. But it's clear that the options that State DOT has pushed forward so far don't actually address these harms. I cannot say it any better than Norma Saunders, the Tenants Association president of Bronx River Houses, who shared with us the following sentiment. And I quote, "Currently, the air pollution from the Cross Bronx Expressway is so toxic that those of us who live in Bronx River Houses cannot open our windows, ever. The idea that the state wants to make it wider to add traffic and bring it even closer to our homes feels like a death threat. We should be trying to reduce traffic and pollution, not putting money into plans that will make it worse." I also personally want to thank Assemblymember Emerita Torres for her leadership and bringing attention to this project with her colleagues in the state and city government. It's also so heartwarming to see so many people here calling in one voice for no traffic diversion structure. We support option 2, and community alternatives for equitable mobility. Thank you.
So beautifully put. Thank you so much, Victoria. And up next, we have the District Manager of Community Board 6, Rafael Moray Planet.
Hello everyone, my name is Rafael Moray. I'm the District Manager for Community Board 6. Thank you all for coming out. So I want to talk a bit about process, because I'm a bureaucrat and we talk about process. So what is State DOT attempting to do this evening? They are attempting to do public engagement, right? And what they are going to present to you all is a plan that they've already presented to Community Boards 3, 6, and 9 multiple times, okay? And the plan is to give us options, right? The state wants to give us options on and wants the community to give our opinion on the options. The next step of the process is that they will do an environmental assessment to tell us which one of those options has which effects on our community. The problem is that we are getting the options tonight, and the environmental assessment doesn't come out until the summer, July, okay? And if you work in government, you know community boards don't meet in July and they don't meet in August. How long do we have to respond to the environmental assessment? 30 days. So the community boards cannot be a part of the process where the decision is made on the options. State DOT is intentionally excluding the community boards and the community at large with their current process of quote-unquote public engagement. It's not public engagement. What the community board is asking for is we want 120 days. If you want community to really consider the options and weigh which option is worse, they all seem like they're worse, for the neighborhood as opposed to not building anything, we need enough time. And we need enough time to talk to our neighbors about what effect this could have on our neighborhood. So we're asking for 120 days. The elected officials are also going to ask for an extension. We really don't think it's fair in the approach the State DOT is taking right now. We want to thank you all for rallying with us to call for a change. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rafael. Up next, we have Anna Balanga from Transportation Alternatives.
Hello, my name is Anna Berlanga and I'm the Bronx and Uptown organizer for Transportation Alternatives. Thank you all for coming to Stop the Cross Bronx Expansion Rally. Now, DOT may be presenting several options to the community today. That wasn't what was presented a few months ago, and so thanks for all the work that we've done. We actually have some options now. Over the past year, I have spoken to hundreds of community members. Myself, my colleagues, volunteers, we've stood on this road, we've talked, we've spoken to passersby, people taking the bus, people going to school, people going to the community garden, people going to the store. And overwhelmingly, people in this community understand the problems of the Cross Bronx, the disconnected communities, the asthma, the air pollution, the noise pollution, the hostile environment for pedestrians. If you look at the stretch of road in front of us, cars are zooming between the Sheridan, the Bruckner, the Bronx River Parkway, and the Cross Bronx Expressway, all just within 2 miles of this very spot. We know that the state's proposed roadway does nothing to solve these problems. It is $150 million piece of infrastructure for people from New Jersey and Connecticut, for polluting diesel trucks, but not for us, not for the people in this community. This is why when you speak to people here in West Farms, they overwhelmingly support option 2, no build. The Bronx deserves better than an expanded highway. We need option 2. And we won't accept a project that doubles down on Robert Moses' failed projects. And maybe I'll try a little bit in español. Esta comunidad no necesita otra autopista. Necesitamos soluciones. No necesitamos otra autopista en una comunidad que ya tiene el Bronx River Parkway, que ya tiene el Bruckner, que ya tiene el Cross Bronx Expressway, que ya tiene el Sheridan. Tenemos muchas autopistas en esta comunidad, entonces los que estamos aquí queremos la segunda opción, opción número 2.
Option 1, we say
no.
Option 1,
We say no.
extra lanes.
Gotta go.
Option
Thank you so much. I love the energy. Next up, we have Dart Walsworth from Bronx Council for Environmental Quality.
Thank you. Yes, I'm here from the Bronx Council for Environmental Quality, a 50-year-old environmental organization in the Bronx. A few things about this project are confusing. In 2004, the state of New York performed a major investment study for the Cross Bronx and the Major Deegan. Most of the Deegan work, the High Bridge interchange, the Hamilton Bridge, have been completed. The Cross Bronx is only now beginning. The MIS proposed connector roads alongside the Cross Bronx Expressway and areas of decking over it to carry part of the service roads and for open space. But when the current project to replace the bridges was presented in 2016, 12 years later, DOT said the borough president asked if the project had any connection to that major investment study. The DOT responded that while the project does not incorporate the connector roadway recommended, it does not preclude that roadway from being implemented. In other words, they were going to build a temporary 3-lane structure and then tear it down. That was in 2016. Now the idea of a permanent connector has come back, but there's no plan or design to connect it to anything else. Even though there's another project coming, by the way, everybody, on 3rd Avenue and Webster Avenue at some stage of study or design right now. The westbound connector road would end abruptly before it really gets anywhere, and there's no plans or funding to connect the connector to much of anything else. This is confusing given that the multi-year process to reimagine the Cross Bronx Expressway, in which DOT participated. Indeed, Commissioner Maria Teresa Dominguez provided the first introductory letter and to the reimagine the Cross Bronx Expressway final vision in March, just this past March, in which she mentions the 5 bridges projects as an example of the state's commitment. But the redesign does not recommend the Cross Bronx or any potential service road as a place to improve bus service, even though the plan does add new east-west streets in different places. If the robust community-driven plan to redesign the Cross Bronx puts the buses someplace else, and if state DOT told us in 2016 that the diversion structure was temporary, why are they doing something different now? Now they say they'll only improve multimodal accessibility within the project limits, not connecting it to anything to address identified problems. They need to do something about the Cross Bronx Expressway, but this is not it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I just want to acknowledge our borough president, Madam Vanessa Gibson. Thank you so much for being here. We've had a lot of meetings with her office, so we really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. And next up, we have Melissa Bosley of South Bronx Unite.
Thank you. So I'm struggling to figure out how I'm going to start this off. But on my way here, I had this feeling of frustration and annoyance that we even have to do this rally. I'm here wearing 2 hats. I'm an organizer for South Bronx Unite, but I also live 5 minutes away from Starlight Park, where this expansion will be taking place. This is a park that I frequent pretty much weekly. I go for runs there, and to have to do this rally, and thanks for everyone being here. And it sucks that we don't have more people, that this whole process eliminates the community itself. I'm blessed enough to be able to do the work and communicate these complex ideas and a lot of what's behind closed doors. But again, I just have to voice my frustration as a resident. I'm 5 minutes away from where this project is taking place. And bad air quality. Today is a perfect day for us to be having this rally. Not only what's happening in this building, but the heat island effect that we often talk about when we talk about the Cross Bronx Expressway, the historical legacy of racism, and that literally dividing the Bronx from north and south. It literally created the South Bronx. And I hope that the noise that we're making out here, they can hear, DOT can hear that. So please, everyone, please just make some noise right now. Just. We say no. Say no. Thank you.
Fishy, go, fishy, go! Option 2's the way to go! Option 2's the way to go! Go, fishy, go, fishy, go!
have a resident and a member of Morning Glory Community Garden, Anike Cherry.
Hi everybody, my name is Anike Cherry. I'm from the Bronx, but I've lived in this area, been volunteering with the Bronx River Alliance, and been a member at Morning Glory Community Garden on Middle Avenue for about 4 years now. This area of the Bronx is completely surrounded by highway in every direction. And as a former driver and current pedestrian and cyclist, I hate it. The Sheridan, Bruckner, and Cross Bronx and the cars on them are major sources of noise and air pollution, traffic congestion that pours out onto local streets, intense heat in the summer, flooding during torrential rain, and limited mobility to and from surrounding neighborhoods. The Cross Bronx has fallen into a state of severe disrepair because the DOT hasn't done their job in maintaining it. And so what they've decided to do is use funding that is supposed to be allocated to local connectivity improvements to fund essentially a highway rehabilitation and potentially like expansion project, which like doesn't even fall under, because it doesn't even fall under the funding's intended use. And in order to justify using the funding this way, they've just decided to tack on the most thoughtless and useless connector in the history of mankind, and it is so disturbingly idiotic and insulting. The entry and exit points of the proposed connector are so hostile to pedestrians and cyclists that it's not going to generate any new users, and at best saves existing commuters of all forms, car, walking, biking, like a few minutes, if it doesn't end up just generating more traffic. So by the end, $900 million will have been spent. Used and loved park and outdoor space will be covered up. Physical resources will have been unnecessarily used, and all the existing problems will just be exacerbated or simply unimproved. I don't know why the DOT wants to give themselves more roads to maintain when they like can't maintain what they already have. It's like the connector road just doesn't make any sense. It's not helpful. The honest truth is that the only thing that could have saved us from these problems was never having built these highways in the first place. But since they're here, and I'm sure are not going to be torn down anytime soon, all the DOT has to do is repair the bridges on the Cross Bronx. No highway extension, no connector road ever being built. Us residents who are negatively impacted in every way are not responsible for suburban commuters who have all the trees, grass, clean air, and water that they could ever hope for, nor are we responsible for businesses who decide to route their trucks through the Bronx. And I just want to say thank you to the Bronx River Alliance and like the coalition that's formed for bringing this to my attention and doing so much to engage the community members, us community members. And like DOT, like your outreach has sucked. This connector road proposal is stupid, and I just really hope that you respect the wishes of the community members who actually live here and don't build the connector. Thank you.
Thank you, Anike. Next up, we have David Abreu of Save the Sound. Come on, do a little better there.
Thank you, and good evening. My name is David Abreu, the Clean Water Advocate at Save the Sound, a nonprofit environmental organization advocating for the protection and improvement of the water, land, and air of the entire Long Island Sound region. We're joining our community partners here today because we're concerned with the potential environmental impacts of the construction of yet another roadway over the Bronx River, including the impacts of stormwater to the water quality of the river and the impacts of increased traffic on the air quality of the surrounding neighborhoods. From both construction and the